So you being unlawfully detained, you don't have no proper cause for stopping you. You won't be on camera, but I'm gonna have to narrate and dictate the video, right? Though the police department believe they can stop people, especially black people, at liberty and search their car without their consent, but people don't seem to have an idea how to protect themselves from this type of harassment. And they have stopped and detained 2 black females in handcuffs nearly because they say they failed to use a turn signal with more than 100 feet from the traffic violation. But now how does a simple traffic violation result into a full court search? Well, they have a tendency to use the dog. In this case, this is a person who does not have any criminal background, does not have any drugs in their possession, but yet having to undergo invasion of their privacy. All because they didn't use a signal 100 feet before the turn. Where is the proper cause? In order to use a dog, they have to establish some proper cause or reason to believe that drugs exist and that evidence of a crime might be in your car. Now, the reason I'm not videotaping the actual scene itself, the young lady asked out of respect for her privacy and her job, she didn't want to be on camera. But here it is. I would like to bring attention to this. This is something that has been ongoing, and lately I've pretty much kind of failed back. People have other things to do, but this is something that affects our community, and we should all be concerned about. When hard-working, law-abiding citizens can't drive around the streets of Dothan because they're black and they drive a nice car. This is what we recognize happening here in Dothan. And these officers don't seem to have anything else to focus their time on, so they go around harassing innocent people and misusing their authority and abusing the authority of these so-called canine dogs. Now, the young lady asked the officer, what did the dog do to indicate the presence of drugs in her car? He could not articulate that, and instead he placed her and her passenger in handcuffs. But this is what we should do. We should come onto the scene, because sometimes when they notice that you videotaping them, they have a tendency to put them in handcuffs so they can't handle the camera, acting as though they distracting them from doing their job and they obstructing them from doing their job. But in reality, he wants to interfere with her right to videotape the police. But we cannot be afraid, for somebody to shine a light and show attention to this right here, because every time you come in contact with law enforcement, you are on camera, whether you want to be or not. You stand in front of a police car, so you have no choice but be on camera. So now the officer has resorted to calling for a female police officer because he wants to search these people because he's not finding anything in their car, so he wants to justify his fruitless search. He wants to continue to invade these people's privacy and humiliate them even more by calling for a female officer so he can search them. This is the type of harassment that you only see in the black neighborhood. Now, this is what makes me really want to call them out for what they are. They're some racist skinheads parading around as law enforcement. This is right, exactly what they are. This is not something you see. Now, he's threatening the young lady if she didn't give him his keys that he would arrest her without a warrant, without legitimate probable cause, but only because he wants to invade their privacy and go through their personal belongings. But my problem with people in the public is we have a tendency to, because we don't know our rights, because we feel like we have certain type of job security or whatever the case may be, we don't want to offend them. But if somebody's going to handcuff you and stand you beside the road and rummage through your personal belongings, go through your glove compartment, ruffle through your dirty clothes, and you mean to tell me you are so worried about being embarrassed that you don't want to put the light in his face, you don't want to shine the light on him and let the world know what he's doing to you? Now, the Supreme Court has said that we have no right to expectation of privacy when we're in a public place. But anytime they go into your vehicle, go into your glove compartment, go into the trunk of your car, go into your socks, go into your hats, then they are invading your privacy. There is no privacy once somebody, reduces you down to basically to being, meaningless. In other words, your word don't count anymore. You traveling these streets out here with a valid driver's license, with valid registration and insurance, but you can't proceed upon your way because you got these young, gung-ho, trigger-happy, racist, skinhead police out here that want to manifest control in our neighborhood. They want to handle you like slaves and less than, citizens because they have the dog and because they have the chief of police who really turns a blind eye to this type of harassment and he condones this type of behavior. And this is what they do. Now, as we see more officers are pulling up on the scene, basically, which is I call senseless. Now, you see this one right here wants to play. This is what we train and pay in this Houston County right here, skinheads who take their job and basically abuse it. Now, they want to call me the racist because I call them out. Well, what's wrong with calling a spade a spade? Now, these young ladies have been handcuffed here for a long enough period of time for me to see this on live, get into my vehicle and drive over here on the corner of East Newton Street and Range. Now, this is not McAllister, but all these skinheads seem to resemble one another, so it's not McAllister this particular time. But what we're seeing here is a pattern of behavior which I've documented over the years, and people have still not found a way to protect themselves. No, Roy, actually I was standing here when the car pulled up, so I don't see no reason to move away from the car. I'm not, in any way violating the laws. This sidewalk I'm on, standing in the grass here, is a matter of public property. So I'm exercising my right to exercise my right to express myself by using this camera. Now I narrate these videos because sometimes people don't necessarily know the underlying, agenda behind these stops. Why would they stop a person for, they didn't say she failed the signal, but she failed the signal with more than 100 yards, before the turn. Now the book does say that, but where else do they enforce these type of minor infractions? They didn't stop them to give them a ticket. They didn't stop them for any particular criminal reason, but they stopped them because of the neighborhood they drove through, which is out on Monroe on the east side of town, and the fact that there's two black females in a modern vehicle. And in their mind, this is grounds to justify when they say that we live in crime-infested neighborhoods. That's another way of saying you live in a poor black neighborhood, and most likely you all over here delivering dope, buying dope, or using dope. And that's what they're suspected of. Why do you use the false pretenses to justify your search and your stop? And why do you say it's about the signal light, and in reality, that's just the pretense you're using to get inside these people's vehicle? Now that they haven't found any drugs, any resemblance of anything criminal activity, and they realize they're being watched, now they want to take them out of handcuffs. But now they've already called for a female officer, which is the appropriate measure if they suspect them of having drugs. But as I stand here and narrate this video, it's obviously that's not the case. But that dog has been trained to do pretty much anything they want them to do. When they continue to keep these women detained, presumably until that female officer get here and further humiliate them by searching them. But as citizens, as brothers and sisters in the same community, we can't stand back and allow this to happen and not shed some light on them in their foolishness. Because we don't see this in other affluent neighborhoods. I won't even call them white and black neighborhoods, because people nowadays live where they can afford to live. But you don't see this in the more affluent parts of town. We see this on the east side, we see it on the west side, the bottoms, Shirley Street, Monroe. This is what we see on a continuous basis. And people ride by and ignore it because they say, it doesn't affect me. That's not me. I'm not trying to be involved in that. But just as you ride along today, minding your own business, coming to and from and handling your own personal affairs, here these people have made it their job to harass you in your own neighborhoods, to make you fearful in your own neighborhoods, to try to intimidate you in your own neighborhoods. Yes, to one view, it is racial profiling, and the way we prove racial profiling is a pattern of behavior. We don't prove this by individual incident. It can't just happen to Kevin Sappho. It's happening to everybody. It's happening to school teachers. It's happening to nurses, our essential workers. It's happening to everyday, hard-working, God-fearing, law-abiding citizens that they call them. Everybody got some skeletons in their closet, and nobody wants to have their personal belongings rummaged through, because if you don't find what you're looking for, yet and still, you're still going through my personal belongings. And I have a problem with that, especially when I'm out here minding my own business and not committing a crime. She's not been accused of running a red light, leaving the scene of a crime, or her car reported as fitting the description of some other criminal suspect. This is simply riding around while black, driving a nice vehicle. And then you see the supervisor has arrived on the scene, and basically he condoned this by overseeing it, rather than coming in and saying, what is the problem? Do we have an issue? Go ahead and let these people go. But he, on the other hand, does not exercise his authority because he's down with the same Gestapo mentality as the rest of them. And where did they get that from, by the way? Why do they feel so comfortable ignoring and invading our rights and mistreating us? If we had some people in authority who would check them on their wrong, then we wouldn't have this. If we had somebody to hold them accountable for their activity on a daily basis, we wouldn't have this. Let me ask you all one thing. If you can't do anything to support the movement, share the video. If you're sitting there watching the video, share the video. Because the only way we're going to get this out here is people have to know about this outside of Dothan and realize this is a problem. Can I ask you all to do that? It's not going to put any money in my pocket if that's what you're worried about. Share the video. Like the video, let me know you're watching. Share the video to bring attention to it when our citizens are being harassed in the streets of Dothan just for riding around while black. For no other reason, no articulable reason that these officers have detained these ladies in handcuffs, no less. Share the video. Please engage. Let me know that you're watching the video and that you too support the movement to stop DPD and stop these racist police officers in their tracks, stop these skinheads, stop these Klansmen. I call them for what they are. Because the same people who ride around with the Confederate flag and run around still trying to carry this primitive history of white people being supreme are the same ones walking around with their hair skipped off their head, masquerading as police officers. You're looking at them. You're looking at them. Call the devil as you see him. You're looking at him. This is, in my mind, this is no longer just happening to the black male, Bravo Mike, but it's happening to the black children. It's happening to the black females. It's happening to the black community in general. And here we are in the new millennium, 2020, when they should be worried about other things. They yet still living behind time, living in the 60s, in Jim Crow era. Why are you driving this nice Mercedes-Benz? Why are you in this neighborhood, in a drug-infested neighborhood? Why are you over here claiming that you're visiting relatives when really you're over here buying drugs? In so many words, that's what you're saying when you stop a car for no apparent reason, no lawful reason, no articulable reason, no call, not responding to a description of a vehicle involved in a crime, but simply because it's two black females riding around a Mercedes-Benz with tinted windows on Monroe Street. Can you draw the correlation between this and racial profiling? So maybe we'll have a different result now that we have people who can't be put in the same category with Mr. Keb time. These women don't hate the police. These people believe that the police were their friends. These people work in jobs that support these people, probably teaching their kids. But this is what they get in return. My friend Julie, I believe the KKK is paid to protect and serve us. Exactly. But they intimidate and harass us and racially profile us. And not even though in the face of all this attention, they realize they're wrong, but they're so gullible and so ignorant and stupid that they'll continue to follow through with this facade as if they're looking for something. Knowing fully well these people are not involved in criminal activity. And if they were involved in criminal activity, then how did you arrive at that conclusion by seeing them in their car with tinted windows? Not speeding, not pulling up at making random stops, but just leaving a friend's house in a neighborhood that's been designated as drug infested. But what they don't expect for us everyday average citizens to pull over and see about our own kind. That's what they don't expect. Now, what other reason why they would put these ladies in handcuffs other than to take their phone out of their hand because they were going live? Now, in the process of me sharing the live and actually sharing on a watch party, the phone was taken away. Why? Why do they want everybody to see what they're doing? Now, I'm standing in front of this police car, and I know I have to be on camera. I know they have a dash cam, but how many times have we seen people go to court after being shot, killed, or whatever, and the camera just wasn't working that day? How many times have we heard stories like that on a regular basis? So don't rely on the camera of the police officer. Don't be offended when I come out with my camera. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm trying to shed light on a situation that needs our attention. Well, rather, despite how many black or white officers they have, it really does not matter about you being black or white. It's having the nuts and balls to do the right thing, regardless of what color you are. Having the nuts and the balls to do the right thing, because had she not gone live, I wouldn't know about it. Had I not gone live, many of you wouldn't know about it. The parents may not know about it. But now they realize they're being watched. We're going to see how they conduct themselves. But nevertheless, no matter how this search ends, if it ends fruitless, as I'd be willing to guarantee that it does, these people are not drug dealers, then what type of apology do they have for this? What type of consideration are these women given for being humiliated? Well, it's just my second nature to raise up and, speak my mind, especially in the face of injustice. And it's purely injustice to detain people with no articulable reason or suspicion that they've committed a crime. You cannot tell me that not using the signal at all, just say, for instance, they ran through the stop sign and didn't use the signal. You cannot tell me it warrants them having them being handcuffed, taken out of your car, and held indefinitely, being told you're in detention. If you're being detained and cannot leave, and these ladies were very articulate, they asked the right questions, they presented themselves as being, professionals. Hey, man, we're not doing anything wrong, we're just visiting a friend. And you can't tell me that should relate into a full-blown detention and arrest. Because anytime you put me in handcuffs, and the law says that if I'm not free to leave, I consider to be an arrest. If they were to bolt and run, they would be arrested for escape. So you're not free to leave once he tell you you're being detained. And this, I think, is ridiculous because there is no apparent reason that they can put into words to justify it, other than the fact the dog supposedly alert to the presence of drugs. Why was the dog even applied to the car? Why was the search even initiated? What is the justification of probable cause? But the problem we have is a chief of police that condone this type of behavior, commissioners who don't have enough nuts to stand up or enough principle to oppose this behavior, and then they're going to turn around and give us a report card about what they've done over the last 4 years. We haven't heard from them, but in 4 years they'll say, this is my report card, this is what I've done. Well, Negro, you haven't done anything but sat down there and watched this take place and watched it on Mr. Caleb Time Live, but you haven't acted on it. You haven't called them into question on their questionable behavior. So if I seem a little heated about this and a little turned up about it, because I am, because after 10 years of doing the exact same thing, we still don't see the problem. When I say we as a group and as a community of people, we don't seem to see the problem. We still laugh and shake hands with them and play with them as though they are friends, as if they're really serving and protecting. In reality, is that what you call serving and protecting? Is this your idea of being policed or protected or over-policed and harassed? To be detained in handcuffs simply because you asked this officer questions about why am I being detained? Why am I being asked to get out of the car? What is the problem? Why are you putting this dog in my car? I'm not driving, officer. Why do I have to give you an ID? Well, just answer my question, and we can be on about our day. But at the end of the day, we're about to see how much sense this makes. Again, for y'all who just tuning in, I kind of got carried away and didn't describe this incident. What we're seeing here is members of the Dothan Police Department continuing to racially profile our citizens, harass and illegally and unlawfully detain people at will, randomly searching cars and personal property and invading our privacy without reasonable suspicion of a crime being committed, without having the legal terminology of probable cause. That means reasonable or probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed or evidence of a crime might be concealed in your vehicle. Now, they haven't told her anything that would indicate that other than the fact, hey, didn't you just see the dog? And then she asked him, what did the dog do? I didn't see him do anything. He did nothing but walk around. What did he do to indicate the presence of drugs? Well, turn around and give me that phone. See, it's all about taking that phone away. But what they weren't anticipating is Mr. Caleb Time being around the corner. I don't mind stopping what I'm doing to come, to the aid or to the rescue. Call me Captain Saban if you want to, but I'm not going to ride by and see what I know is an obvious harassment and then say it's not my business. I'm not going to wait until I get elected to office to decide it's my business. I'm not going to wait till I get paid to decide it's my business. And I caution you all, when you go vote for these politicians, if he haven't done anything that he was called to do, then don't you vote him in the office. Because if you've been called to do something, you don't have to be voted in office. You don't have to be paid to do it. You do it because it's the right thing to do. It's what your integrity and your morals tell you to do. Stand up for your people. Speak out. You got a position of authority. Speak out. Use that authority to neutralize some of these officers who have gone basically to perfect their own personal agenda. Now here we see this young lady walking away which means there was no contraband found, but she's been violated. To what degree, we don't really know. To what degree they've been violated, but they've been held in captivity for a traffic violation. Keep one thing in mind, if you don't think of anything else or learn anything else from this video, just as these two sisters being harassed and detained today, it could be you tomorrow. It could be you later on today, while you out minding your own business. But this is what we see. This is what we, have to deal with. This is what the officers do with our taxpayers' money. And then they have to tell us to stay away from the scene. Don't come up on them. These cars are being paid for the gas they're burning, the hours they're being paid. It's being funded by taxpayers. That means me or you. Now I wonder, what did y'all have to justify detaining these people and holding them in handcuffs? What was the cause of that? What was the cause of that false arrest? Always good to see you. Yeah, I'm always. Car 6040. We're going to see just how much of this type of activity we can record this day. Car 6542. The officer who I believe initiated this traffic stop and put these young women in handcuffs. Car 6302. I'm just making myself some mental notes because I'm pretty sure before this day is over with, Lord willing, before this week is over with, we'll see these same officers conducting this same type of activity in these same inner city streets. But how many of us gonna have enough nerve and be bold enough to call them out when we see them? How many of us gonna have enough nerve to pull up on them and shine some light on them, expose them? Now, most of y'all know there was a time that I couldn't turn around. I couldn't go around the street without running into DPD and being harassed, being detained, being searched, having my car taken and towed away. I've been doing it for the last 10 or 12 years. And so I basically kind of got burned out on even talking about them. It's almost repulsive to keep saying the same thing over and over like you're preaching to the choir. How many times do I have to say that these people are not your friends? These skinheads running around here masquerading the police officers are actually the Klan in a new uniform. And then for those who say, man, there's some good officers. Yeah, there's some good officers. When I see them put handcuffs on their working partner, then there's some good officers. I haven't seen that yet. By the way, let me advise y'all again, suggest to you all, if you're watching, share the video. Because we don't just want people in the vicinity of Dothan to know about it, that we talking about a pandemic, we talking about an epidemic, but this is an epidemic of an all-time high. Coronavirus won't kill half as many black folks as the damn DPD probably didn't kill, and the police department all across the country. Now, am I saying all of them just need to be put to death? No, I ain't saying that, but they need to be weeded out. And you have to start from the top. Take the chief of police. Take the mayor and the city manager. Anybody who in a position because we voted on them, they should be held accountable to doing what they supposed to be doing. Now I ride through these same neighborhoods now, these same streets, so-called dope-infested streets in Dothan, and now you damn near can't pay them to stop this vehicle. You damn near can't pay them to ask me about some driver license, some insurance, and registration. Why is that? Because they already know without a shadow of a doubt, they're going to have to answer to some damn body. Whether it's the public, whether it's the supervisor, whether it's answering to me. Because I'm going to ask the right question. Yeah. Now, I didn't signal 100 yards for the stop. I'm expecting them to stop me. But here we are, again, these same officers conducting the same type of activity on a regular basis. Yeah. These same officers pulling the same thing. All of them heavily concentrated in our communities. And for what? And for what? What is there to gain by doing that? So we know that failing to stop for a stop sign or failing to yield a signal 100 feet for the traffic stop, the traffic turn is not necessarily grounds to stop and search anybody. If that's the case, why the hell didn't they just stop and search me? I use my signal, but I use my signal when I decide I want to turn. Not before. Hell, I don't decide I want to turn 100 feet every time I want to turn. I turn when I feel like turning. I see the police, I might want to turn where they are. I used to turn away from them. Now I turn and find them. Where are they? Harassing our people. But my point is, you all have heard me give this same speech over and over, but those who haven't heard, we're here in Dothan, Alabama, where it's almost illegal to ride around as a black person in this town. You no longer have the right, now I'm just being sarcastic right now, but they've taken away our right to ride around and be free to turn corners as we choose in our own neighborhood. Where we grew up at, we've been living for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but now we got to ride around in fear of being stopped and harassed and put in handcuffs and being embarrassed. Because the first thing the young lady said when I came out there was, man, I don't want to be on videotape. I don't want to, have to explain it to my job. Well, baby, I'm not the one to stop you. I'm not the one having you in handcuffs. You should be telling him to let me go because I don't want to be harassed and I don't want to be handcuffed because I haven't committed a crime. Stay with that story. Stay with that one. That's the only thing we have control over, is how we react to something. We can't stop or dictate when we're going to be harassed, but we can damn sure speak out about it and let them know we're not comfortable with it, we're not satisfied with it. That's all we can do. But I ain't found nobody yet that could basically convince me to put this damn camera down. Why not? Because this camera has saved me more times than not. It might have got me in some trouble a few times here and there, but it'll save me more times than not. And when things go wrong, all I'm saying is I want to go wrong while I'm holding my damn camera. Because things might go wrong as things so often do. Not everything going to come out the way you want it to. Hey there, family. Somebody got to keep these police honest around here. They out of damn control. When I say we, I mean everybody got the same damn tool I have, which is a phone and a damn mouth. I see you on live and watch your story every day, so I know you got plenty of damn mouth and you got plenty of data. If you hooked up at Burger King somewhere, you got a way to get on the internet because I see you. Hell, I'm a page watcher too. I get tired of watching my own damn page and listen to my own self speak, so I'm on everybody's page, everybody's story. I'm liking everybody's shit, but I'd like you to do one thing for me. Share the video, and the next time you see somebody being harassed by the police, take your phone out and videotape them and share it with me. And I'm going to share your story. What up, homie?
What's going on?
All right, friends.
All right.
Yes, sir. Oh, now what's happening? I'm going to get with you, homie. I got this live going on. I know you ain't scared to be on live, but I'm on this live, right?
Okay.
And I'm calling these clowns for what they is. All these clowns running around in these uniforms, we got them on blast.
I was told I was finna call you. They just pulling people.
Hey, man, I already pulled up on them. They detain people in handcuffs just because they can.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep them honest when you can. I will. Most certainly. So I'm 24 hours on call. All day, every day. All right, big guy. Yeah. And I don't have to remind y'all I don't do this for money, for fame, or fortune, because ain't nobody paying me. And those I don't know, I don't care to know. I'm good with the ones I know. I'm one of them dudes, no new friends. I don't need no new friends anyway. So don't be watching me because you think I'm popular. Listen if you think I got something supposed to say, something that makes sense. Otherwise, tune out. You don't like me calling the police out and calling them skinheads and racists and crackers or whatever I want to call them, then don't watch me. I ain't running for damn office. I don't owe you nothing. But those who say, yeah, he playing the race card, just because I called a clam and a clammer, well, I got a whole lot more cards to play because I'm going to find a whole lot more clamming and skinheads doing what they were doing. I'm going to find them because I got this camera and this vehicle I can ride around and find them. But anyway, before I sign off, let me leave you all with this. A couple of things we need to know about, right? When you are riding in a vehicle in Alabama, if you have a driver's license, there's a such thing as implied consent. So certain things the officer's asking you as a driver of that vehicle, then you responsible for, answering and presenting your credentials to him. And if you don't have them, the worst that could supposed to happen is you get some tickets for them, But there's a thin line between obstruction of justice and interfering with the government operation and you just, chilling, minding your own business. But most people believe that you don't have to present your ID when they ask for it by the officer, whether you drive or not. When he asks you for it, in this state, this is a stop and ID state. So in Alabama, you must present your ID even if you're the passenger. Remember, Mr. K Uptown told you that. You've never seen me out of all the videos I've done, them tell them, no, I'm not going to give them to you. I'm either looking for them, I'm looking for them. I never say I don't have them, but I'm still looking for them. I'm patting my damn pockets looking for them. But don't tell him that you're not going to give them to him, because now you just interfere with his government operation and obstructed justice, him trying to identify you, and you'll probably end up in the back of his damn police car when you could have just showed him your driver's license and ID and let him go on about his business. After that, you don't have to give him too much other than that. You've given him your ID, and that's my current address. Beyond that, sir, what is the problem? Why am I being detained? Those are the only questions you need to be asking him. If he won't ask those, then you just ask for a supervisor, and you wait till the supervisor to get there and start that all over again. So if nothing else you gain from the video is how to react when stopped by the police. How to react when you encounter them harassing someone else. Take out your camera, videotape it, and hope and pray that some of us around that'll pull up and join in. We'll share this video. That's all I ask you to do, and that ain't asking too much. If it don't cost you anything on your phone, hit the share button. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, Mr. Kev Time. Greet you in the spirit of love and salute you in peace. Thank y'all for paying attention. Share the video.